All right, let's take it back to the beginning first.
Okay.
I met the game February 14th, 2002.
Okay.
The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan called for a hip hop summit to invite the rappers to come and see him and Russell Simmons. Suge Knight was there, but it was a conference to educate the artists on the pitfalls of this music, to educate us on the booby traps that's being set by the industry that they're going to use us to implement. Primarily murder, mayhem, destruction.
What's going on today?
That's what his whole purpose was. When I got to Beverly Hills, Four Seasons Hotel, it was 400 rappers in the room. I'm walking around, I'm just surveying the land, seeing, up in here. And this dude was rapping, named The Game, for the Outlaws. Not Idi Amin, not Noble, but the other one. I can't think of his name. Napoleon. The one that moved to Africa or...
Yeah.
Okay. Him and Trady from the Outlaws. From the East Siders with Snoop Dogg, Goldie Loc, and Trady. Trady and what's his name? Napoleon? They was the guy that Game was rapping for. I was standing behind them. Game was standing up front, and those two guys was listening to him. I was the guy in the background saying, man, this guy got bars. I want to meet him. Out of 400 rappers, God showed me, that's him right there, get him.
Was he a Blood at that time?
You know what? I didn't see nothing that said Blood, but he had on the Cincinnati Reds jacket that was a red coat. So you could say maybe so.
Okay.
But he told me, I live on Santana Block. My mama live here. This is Crips. He told me about his brother, but he didn't go into too much detail because his brother wasn't campaigning for him before the Dr.Dre campaign.
You talking about Big Face Hunted?
Shout out to Big Face Hunted. That's my brother. We became real close. We became family orientated. I'm not sure of his gang ties. That would be false.
Okay.
But I liked it. The Compton gang banging lyrics mixed with the fabulous type of flow from the East Coast.
Yeah.
Mixed with sounding like the rapper Shine. With the raspy voice.
Yeah, the deep voice.
If you listen to the first album, it don't sound like the second album because it's growth. But what I liked, he rapping like Fabulous. He talking about California gangbang shit. He sound like Shine.
Yeah.
I want to meet him and I want to do business with him. If he's not signed, I want to bring him back to my neighborhood.
So what was that conversation to get him back to your neighborhood?
I introduced myself. And he said, I know exactly who you are. I got you in Daz Dillinger album. That was Long Beach to Fillmore.
Okay.
He was familiar with my whole catalog. So I told him on our first conversation, I can't promise you nothing big time, but what I can promise you is that I want to work with you and I want to bring you to the independent game. I want to share your talent with my network. And that's how we met.
Okay.
We met that day. We exchanged numbers. Within 7 days, I flew him up to the Bay, and the rest is history.
Okay. So you get to the Bay. Do you produce the whole album, or like what do you?
I hired a rapper named Sean T. I gave Sean T 5,000. He gave me probably 40 beats just to start with. So I let Game pick his beats and start recording.
Okay.
That's in March 2002. We finished everything by April, May 2002. By June, July, I press up some copies of a mixtape with him and Nas. I had some Nas songs that was unreleased, and I had his songs that never been out. I mixed them together to put out QB to Compton to create a buzz. When I put out that mixtape, Dr. Dre and them heard about it. But the guy who brought Game to Dr. Dre had signed him to a record company called Desperado. They the ones that signed Game to a real contract, like he's obligated. They took that contract, sold it to Dr. Dre.
Okay.
They gave Game $50,000. Game ran out of money by March, April of 2003, because Game signed around December 2002, January, somewhere around there. Like, he got a deal so fast. I didn't learn about the deal until social media. It was Dub CNN was a website that was popular back then called Dub CNN. Sickness.com was a popular one for up here.
Okay.
For LA, it was Dub CNN. I learned about him signing to Dr. Dre through those websites. And I'm like, yeah, a new rapper the Game signs the Aftermath.
So you got the album the whole time, you haven't done nothing with it, or you was trying to promote it?
I was promoting it in 2002.
Okay.
August, September, it dropped. He had a deal within 4 months.
So, did he have any music prior to that?
No prior to that, no social media, no pictures, no flyers, no singles, nothing. I'm the first person to record him. He had no songs prior to that. He got lucky and met me.
So he took...
He got very lucky as a first-time rapper with no history. Just by me seeing him rap, I liked his voice, I liked his style. He's from Compton. Shit, this sounds like this might be a good investment.
Okay, so you recorded his album. You gave him a copy or whatever, of course. Did he send it out to the companies himself, or they just heard about it?
Is Big Printing or bigprintingonline.com. They have packages that are pre-built, so if you want to make something like this, something like that, or even Chanel patches like this, you know exactly who to use. And if you're a brand owner looking to start or scale, they have packages that are pre-built like bigprintingonline.com.
No, he went to New York and started. Now, this is what I got to give Game his credit. He took what I did with him, got him some copies, and then went to go shop himself. It's how he ran into whoever that guy was who had a deal with Dr. Dre.
Okay. All right, so the beats that Sean T gave you, was by any chance the Mac Dre, the Stupid beat, one of them beats?
No.
Because when you listen to the documentary when it came out, it had a documentary. You know what I'm saying? And on the documentary.
You mean on the album I put out, The Untold Story?
No. The Dr. Dre album.
The Dr. Dre album is the documentary. Okay, yes.
Yeah. So with that came a DVD, like a real documentary. On the documentary,
I didn't see that. I'll put out the documentary.
No, but what I'm getting at is on the documentary, they was playing the Mac Dre Stupid beat.
Oh,
and
okay.
I know Sean T did that beat, so I was wondering
if you saw that documentary though, that was on my DVD.
The documentary from
the documentary of
the documentary.
The documentary album didn't have a documentary. I put out The Untold Story with the documentary word so big that you thought it was a documentary.
Nah, I'm trying to tell you, when the documentary dropped.
Okay, well, I'm not familiar.
It had the DVD with
familiar.
it.
The one I bought from Interscope, it didn't have no DVD.
It had a DVD in it because that's.
And it didn't show Sean. Hold on, let me correct you.
Okay.
If they did put a DVD out, it don't show none of what we did.
Yeah.
Sean T from the Bay. If they put out a documentary DVD, it represented.
No, for sure it did. But I was trying to say, did you give him the beat or whatever? Because I was tripping like that's that Mac Dre beat.
Nah. If it's on the video at Sean T house, that's my video footage.
Nah, it wasn't even at Sean T house.
Well, then no, I don't know nothing about that.
Aftermath and them.
Nope, I don't know nothing about that.